what's up? It's Clay. Today I'm going to be doing a TV show collection video. Now, this is going to be all my TV shows and documentaries and kind of like stuff like that. I wanted to do this because I know a lot of times people, when they watch like movie collections and stuff, they like to see just TV shows or just movies, and sometimes not always both. So I did do a full DVD collection, and then this will just be the TV shows and documentaries and stuff. So these will be out of order because I usually keep them in boxes like this, and I just take them out, or I just took them out and set them beside me, so you can see there's a lot of them over here. But yeah, so if they're out of order, I apologize for that, but I tried my best to keep them at least close to them. But these first ones are just random ones that I didn't put away in the box yet, so they were by themselves anyways. But first up, we have my favorite series of all time. This is season 12 of Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I love this show. It's my favorite cop show ever. It's my favorite show ever. It's on season, I believe, 21 now. I've lost count, but this show is just awesome. If you haven't checked this out, I recommend you watch it because it is such a good show, especially if you like cop shows and stuff. Definitely check that out. Next is The Walking Dead. This is the first season. I got this at FYE for like $5, I think, and this is one of those shows I haven't watched, but I've heard a lot of good things on it, and I do want to check it out. I'm not going to say anything bad about it till I watch it, but yeah, I just never really got into it. You know, I was never into like the zombie craze like everybody else was, but I will watch it. It's one of those ones that's on my list to watch before I determine if I like the show or not. This is a documentary. It's called North America. It's hosted by Tom Selleck, and it's a 7-part series on North America from Discovery Channel. I haven't watched this, but it seemed interesting. I love these like documentaries like this. I like the ones from BBC America, or BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, which is narrated by Sir David Attenborough. But these ones, you know, I like anything like this. I'm a huge animal lover, and you know, being a marine biology major, I'm into a lot of this stuff. So I haven't watched this yet, but I want to check that one out. Next is a couple of my Yu-Gi-Oh! TV series videos. So we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 5 Volume 3, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I always have. I was a huge fan of it when it was on TV, and I'm still a huge fan of it. I rewatch it from time to time. And I used to play the card game all the time. I still occasionally play, you know, if I can find people to play with. But this was definitely probably the only anime I've ever actually watched and actually enjoyed watching. Next up, we'll get into some of my wrestling DVDs, because technically wrestling is a TV show, and so I want to get into those two in this video. So the first wrestling one we got here is this Allied Powers, the world's greatest tag teams, and it's basically just a documentary with some matches on some of the greatest tag teams in WWE history. So I thought that was pretty neat. The next one is the Attitude Era, which is basically a wrestling documentary on different things that happened during WWE's Attitude Era. If you're a fan of WWE, you know what that means. If not, it's fine. But yeah, so it basically just goes over things that happened in the Attitude Era for WWE. And then this one is the Best of Raw, and it has this cool like cover on it. the 15th anniversary, so this goes from 1993 to 2008. This is Raw is one of the shows that WWE puts on every week, and it's been going since 1993. It's still going to this day, but this goes from 93 to 2008, and it's just kind of like the best moments and stuff like that of it. So that's really neat. The next ones are my favorites of any WWE event is the WWE Royal Rumbles. So I have all of them. I think they're out of order though, because I just put them up here. But this is the newest one, the Royal Rumble 2020, and I won't spend a lot of time talking about these because I know most people out there probably don't like wrestling anyways, and that's fine. But I'll just show these for those that do like them. Royal Rumble 2011, 2012, and 13. And then 14, which I was actually there live, so that was kind of cool to see, and then get it on DVD to remember, what I saw live. 2007, 2008, 2009 Steelbook, and the only reason I got the Steelbook of it was because I ordered it online because I had it and then lost it. So I ordered another one, and at that time I didn't really know what a Steelbook was, so I was just like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so that's the only reason that's a Steelbook. That's the only wrestling one I have on Steelbook. 2010, and then we have 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then we got another 2009, which because I found it after I had ordered the new one. I found the other one that I was missing. This is 2019, which obviously was last year. And then these cool box sets of the complete anthology from 1988 to 2007. I really enjoy these. So this is Anthology Volume 2. This is 93 to 97. And then this one is 88 to 92. 2003 to 2007. And 1998 to 2002. So I like these because they are, all of them right there in that these cool like box sets. That's all the WWE Royal Rumbles. Like I said, that's my favorite event in wrestling. So yeah, for you wrestling fans, there's going to be a lot more wrestling DVDs, but if not, you can just kind of skip through those if you don't really care about those ones. Next is the Bible, the Epic Ministries, and the reason I put this in here was because this was technically a TV show. It did air on TV, and we watched it on TV, and it was just, this was one of the, I think, as a Christian, this was one of the best series and representations of the Bible and the life of Jesus and all that kind of stuff. So this was a really good series. Next is some of my favorites. These are the ones from the British Broadcasting Company. This is the Blue Planet. I couldn't actually watch this one. I didn't realize when I bought this that this was a Region 2, I believe. Not a Region 1, so I couldn't watch this anyways because I don't have a regionless player. But I keep it just in case I do ever get a regionless player where I can play it. This one, though, I can watch. This is the Blue Planet Seeds of Life, and this and Planet Earth were the first two documentaries I watched that really got me interested in this. And this, with being a marine biology major in college, and this is just an amazing series. If you're into like animals and learning about animals and the planet itself, definitely check this out because it's a great documentary on the oceans and all the different like rivers and ponds and lakes and stuff like that. So this is really great. I really enjoy this series. Definitely check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. And then Blue Planet 2, which isn't as long as that one, but still a good time. It goes more in depth with certain things, and it came out more recently, so there's a lot of newer technology to where they could go and film a lot of different stuff. So I like that one too. Here's a couple more wrestling ones. This is Bret Hart, the DVD collection. It's basically just his life in pro wrestling and stuff. And then the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and the Undertaker, the greatest matches of them. So next we have Castle Rock, which I haven't actually seen. This is season 1. I've heard mixed reviews on this, and I don't know, because it says it's basically like Stephen King and J.J. Abrams working together, and a lot of these are like Stephen King like references and stuff. So I do want to check that out, because I do love Stephen King stuff, but I never got around to watching it yet, but I should check it out. This is the Chronicles of Narnia. Yes, these are movies, but when they first aired in England or wherever, they were actually like TV shows. So it was kind of like a mini series, not really a TV show, but not really a movie. So obviously they've remade all these movies, but this one has The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and The Silver Chair. And the first 3 of those were remade into movies. I love Narnia. And I had this on VHS, this series, on VHS way back when. But this is, I mean, they still hold up to this day. Obviously, with the newer ones, a lot of people probably don't even realize that exists. But yeah, it's still a good series to check out. Next is another like documentary type of thing. This is Serengeti. It's a documentary on basically the Serengeti in Africa. It's narrated by John Boyega, who plays Finn in Star Wars, at least the new Star Wars. But this seemed interesting because it focuses on different groups of animals and how they survive in the Serengeti, and so I thought that was pretty neat because I do love animal stuff. This next one is Shark, the ocean's greatest predator. I love sharks. Sharks are my favorite animal, and these are what I want to study, when I graduate and get a job. I want to study sharks. I just love sharks. I watch Shark Week every year. And this is a great documentary focusing on different sharks. I mean, it mostly focuses on the great white shark, but it does talk about other sharks as well. So this is a really cool series. Next is Shark Week. Jawsome Encounters just has some different episodes that aired one year on Shark Week. So that's kind of cool that they put these out like this, to have, where you can rewatch some of those episodes. They do still show reruns, now and again on Shark Week every year, but most of the time it's newer, newer stuff. But here's a couple more wrestling DVDs. So we have TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs from 2016, and then Survivor Series from 2005. Next is one of my favorite TV series that I watched as a kid on TV. This is the complete series of Teen Titans. Not the new Teen Titans Go. I haven't actually watched that, but it doesn't seem that interesting. But Teen Titans was definitely one of my favorite series to watch, and this was on Cartoon Network, I believe. But basically, if you don't know, this is DC Comics, obviously. But this is Robin, Batman's friend, sidekick, whatever you want to call him. That's Cyborg from Justice League. This is Beast Boy, Raven, and I forget the other girl's name. But this was just a great series, and I'm glad they put this out, so I could watch the whole thing. Because I do love that series, and I do want to rewatch it. I have seen the whole series, but I have to rewatch it. Here's one. 30 classic episodes of Tom and Jerry. This is, a classic TV show. And I don't know if I've seen these episodes. I haven't actually watched the set yet, but I have seen Tom and Jerry, and, it was classic for back in the day, and it still, to this day, kind of holds up. So, check that out. And then we have SpongeBob SquarePants, the first 100 episodes. I still, to this day, love SpongeBob. This is my favorite Nickelodeon show ever. This is the first 100 episodes, obviously, but SpongeBob, I think everybody loves SpongeBob. I seriously do. If you haven't seen SpongeBob, what are you doing? This is Star Trek, the original series, season 1. And I like this because it comes in this cool, this case out here opens up, and then there's another case inside with the discs in it. But this was really cool. I bought this at FYE for really cheap, and I've never been a big Star Trek fan, but I figured if I started watching it, maybe I would like it. And since this was cheap, I figured why not. And this case is just really cool. They should do this for more stuff, but yeah. Alright, so next is Nicktoons Halloween. This is basically just Halloween, I guess, mini movies of different Nickelodeon TV series. So you see SpongeBob SquarePants, Rugrats, Rocket Power, Hey Arnold, and the Fairly Odd Parents, and it's just basically Halloween versions of that. So that's why it's in here. Yes, it is kind of a movie, but it's in here because it is Nickelodeon shows. This next one is the only 4K movie we bought, and that's only because it only came out on 4K. But my brother actually bought it, and he gave it to me. But it's Oceans, Our Blue Planet. Again, it's also from BBC Earth. Narrated by Kate Winslet, which is unique, but it's a documentary on the oceans, and I love stuff like that, so that's why I have that. This next one has this really, really cool slipcover of Shark Week. The 30-year anniversary of Shark Week, and you can't really feel this, but it's really cool, and I love this, that it looks like sand, and you got the sharks on here and stuff, but this is basically just recapping some of the greatest moments from Shark Week throughout the 30 years and stuff. Like I said, I love Shark Week, and Discovery does a good job every year on Shark Week, and I watch it every year, and I just love this because I had no clue it's been on for 30 years, but it has been, and I love Shark Week. These next ones are more wrestling ones. So we got WrestleMania 22, 23, and then 35, I believe, whatever 2017's WrestleMania was. Yeah, so we got those 3 WrestleManias. Next is the rest of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, so I'll just kind of show them like this. We have all of these ones here. So we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters, Bonds Beyond Time, and then we have Season 4 Volume 1, Season 1 Volume 2, Season 1 Volume 1, The Complete Season 3, Season 2 Volume 2, and then Season 2 Volume 1. I know I'm missing a couple in there, but again, love Yu-Gi-Oh! So that was really cool to see. This next one is, again, one of my favorite shows ever, and I'm sad that it got canceled after 3 seasons, but I really enjoyed this show. This is Code Black. I've never really enjoyed a medical type of show as much as I've enjoyed this, because it didn't just focus on the medical part of it. It had a lot of other stuff going on too. So it was really good, and the cast in this movie or TV show was just amazing. So there's season 1 and season 2. I need to get season 3, and if you haven't checked it out, I recommend you do. But it's never coming back on TV probably, so that sucks. But it was a really, really good TV series. Really enjoyed it. This next one is the first 6 seasons. This is a huge box set of The Curse of Oak Island. They're on season 7 right now on TV. Another one of my favorite shows. Basically, these 2 brothers are digging for treasure that may or may not be buried on an island called Oak Island off the coast of Nova Scotia in Canada. And it's been on, again, like I said, this is the 7th season on TV. This is the first 6 in here, but really interesting show, and I've been watching it since season 1, so it's a really cool show, and there's a lot of shows that try and copy it, and it's just it's not the same. This is really, it really captivates you and makes you want to watch it, so really good show there. I mean, this one is kind of a documentary, also narrated by David Attenborough. It's called Dynasties, the Greatest of Their Kind. So basically, it focuses on these five species of animals, and basically goes through like how they have to fend for their herds or their families, and try and survive in the wild. And it's narrated by David Attenborough, just like Planet Earth and Blue Planet and all them. So I do want to check this one out, because I do love these types of documentaries, so I will check that out eventually. This next one's another WWE one. This is Evolution, the WWE Women's Division. This next one I haven't actually seen. This is another one from DC Comics. This is The Flash, the complete first season. I found this for $5 at Walmart, and I said, why not? I'll check it out. I've never watched any like Marvel TV shows or DC TV shows. I'm not a huge fan of DC, but I figured, I'll check it out, because it is a TV show, and it would be something different to watch. And if I do end up liking it, I can buy whatever other seasons there are of it. This next one is called Great White Shark, A Living Legend. This is a documentary on just the great white shark, which is my favorite shark. So I really enjoy this series. This is the greatest Royal Rumble from WWE. This was the first event that WWE did in Saudi Arabia, and it was a 50-man Royal Rumble. So yeah. These next couple here are all WWE as well. This is the greatest superstars of the 21st century. Heartbreak and Triumph, the Shawn Michaels story. This is Hell in a Cell, basically the greatest Hell in a Cell matches, which is a type of match that they do on WWE. And then this one is Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Anthology, which is basically the anthology of Hulk Hogan and some of his greatest matches. So next, we have one of my favorite TV series for the most part. I know a lot of people have had mixed reviews on some of these, and I agree. I've only gotten through 2 seasons of it, but the first 2 seasons are really good, and then I've heard from there it kind of just mixes. Some seasons are good, some seasons are bad, and they've had 8 seasons. This is Game of Thrones. So this is season 1, season 2, which I really like this slipcover, actually, that's kind of cool. Seasons 3 and 4 together, so I like that. Season 5, this is really cool slipcover. It comes out like that. this is a really cool case. Like I said, I've only seen the first 2 seasons, but that's a really cool slipcover. This one's also cool, season 6, and then this limited edition art on season 7 of Game of Thrones. I haven't picked up season 8 yet. I've heard it was kind of stupid, but because it is part of the series, I will pick it up. But I've only gotten through the first 2 seasons so far. Really good show overall. Kind of weird at points and confusing, but overall not bad. House of Anubis season 1. This show on Nickelodeon was really unique about these kids that go to a boarding school in England and stuff starts happening and they have to try and figure out what happens. This show, I think it had 3 or 4 seasons, and after season 2 it switched to another channel that we didn't have at my house at the time, so we couldn't finish watching it. But if I do get the rest of it, I will definitely check it out again. But season 1, the show was pretty neat, and I really enjoyed it. These next ones are Impractical Jokers, the complete first season, the complete second season, the third season, and the 4th season. I love Impractical Jokers. It's basically 4 friends who do different things and make each other have to do different things, like in public, embarrassing things or whatever, and if they refuse to do it, then they lose, and then they get a punishment for it. But these dudes are hilarious. They also have a stand-up comedy show that they do along with the TV show, but it's a really good TV show, and I think they're on season 7 or 8 now on TV, so I gotta get the rest of these. But overall, not a bad TV series. This next one I started watching not too long ago, and I'm really enjoying it so far. This is Nightfall season 1. I haven't gotten through all of season 1 yet, because I'm watching some other stuff too, but this is really a good TV series. I have seasons 1 and 2, and Mark Hamill in season 2 right there. But I have started watching this, and it's a great TV series on the Knights Templar and the Crusades and hiding like the Holy Grail and the Ark of the Covenant and stuff. So it's a really cool TV series, and I definitely recommend you check that out. This next one is, they just finished season 2 on TV of this, Manifest. Really unique concept for this show, and I really enjoy this. This is the complete first season. I don't want to spoil too much because it is still like on TV. It's still a newer show. But Manifest season 1, really great. Really good show overall. Really unique. So definitely, I do recommend you check that out. If there's one show you're going to check out while we're in quarantine, definitely look up Manifest, because it is definitely a good show, and you do have to watch season 1 first, so definitely check that out. Next, we have a couple more WWE ones. We have a documentary on The Miz, who's one of the WWE superstars. We have some Money in the Bank ones here, which is a match that they put on, for those of you that don't know. So we got Money in the Bank 2015, and then this one is the Money in the Bank ladder match anthology, and it's cool because it comes in like an actual briefcase type of slipcover, and that's what they're fighting for in the matchup, so that's kind of cool. Next, we have NCIS New Orleans, the complete first season. I do have season 2, but I lost the case because my dog chewed it up, but I do have season 2. I don't mind the show, but after a while, it just kind of got boring for me, and so I kind of stopped watching it, but I might get back into it. Here's another wrestling one. This is the ladder match anthology, which talks about like the different ladder matches in WWE. Next, we have one of my favorite series, and I'm glad they redid it or brought back another season of it on Disney Plus. This is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So we have the Clone Wars movie, which, season 1, with this really cool like book inside. So that's really cool. I wish they would have did all of them like that, but they didn't. They did them with slipcovers like this. So there's season 2, season 3, season 4 without a slipcover, season 5, and the Lost Missions, which was technically season 6, but they stopped like halfway through this season on, I think it was on Cartoon Network or whatever at the time, and for whatever reason they decided to stop halfway through the show. But then they brought it back for season 7 on Disney Plus, so that's really cool. I do recommend you check that out, and check out my video I did on this channel of 5 reasons why you should check out Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because it is a really good TV series. Star Wars Rebels, that's the movie, and then season 1. I haven't seen beyond season 1. I know they had a couple seasons, and I only have season 1 on DVD. But I didn't mind it. I never got into it as much as I did the Clone Wars, but I didn't mind it. Next up, we have the Legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is another WWE one. It's basically his Stone Cold Steve Austin's greatest matches. What's New Scooby-Doo? This is for 21 TV episodes on like 4 different discs or whatever. Scooby-Doo is really fun, and I really like it. And What's New Scooby-Doo was the TV series they did for Scooby-Doo. So, yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Scooby-Doo, right? Here's another WWE thing, WWE Tribute to the Troops, and then Twist of Fate, the Matt and Jeff Hardy story. These next ones, 3 of them are going to be more WWE ones. So we have The Undertaker, the streak, 20-0, his WrestleMania streak with this really cool slipcover on it. Undertaker's Deadliest Matches, WCW War Games, which is really cool. And then this one's obviously not a WWE thing, but I got this used at FYE, and that's why it's got like tape and stuff on it. But this is Westworld Season 1. I mean, the discs still work and they're still in good condition, just the case is kind of messed up, which I don't really mind. But Westworld Season 1, I started this, not a bad series. I haven't gotten Season 2 yet, but not a bad series there. So next is the rest of the Law & Order Special Victims Unit. So we got Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, 4, 5 with this really cool case on it. And then they started making them like this, and each one's a different color from here on. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and then I showed you 12 earlier. Couple more here. Most of these are going to be more WWE ones. The new and improved DX, Night of Champions 2008. This isn't, obviously, but Nosferatu, the complete first series. I haven't checked this out yet, but it seemed interesting, so I will watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. 2 more wrestling ones. You have OMG, the top 50 incidents in WWE history, and Payback 2015, which was a pay-per-view. And then Planet Earth and Planet Earth 2. Love both of these documentaries, narrated by David Attenborough. This is the Planet of the Apes Legacy Collection, and the reason I put this in here and counted this was because when these first aired, they aired as kind of like mini-series movies on TV, and so they showed different, like each movie would have been multiple weeks on TV, and so this was really cool, a set to get. But these are technically movies, but I put it in here because it was technically a TV show when it first started. These next ones are more wrestling. So we got Raw, The Beginning 1 and 2, the best of seasons 1 and 2. So this is basically just a documentary on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio, The Biggest Little Man, which is a documentary on Rey Mysterio. This is Riverdale season 1. This show I didn't like it, but I picked up season 1 to check it out. Robin Hood, the complete series. I haven't actually watched this. It just seemed interesting. And I didn't know they made a TV show called Robin Hood. So I do want to check that out, just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then the last one I have here is The Rock, The Most Electrifying Man, which is basically the greatest moments and matches of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, his greatest matches and stuff in WWE history. So that's it for my TV shows. This was a lot more than I thought it was going to be, mostly because I counted all my wrestling ones in here. But definitely check this out. Go check out my full DVD and Blu-ray collection that I did a couple videos ago. There was, I think, 4 or 5 parts of that. And check out my previous video on why you should watch the Star Wars The Clone Wars, because it definitely is a good series and you should definitely check it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it and looking through how many TV shows I actually have and need to watch. But yeah, I hope everybody's staying safe during quarantine, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.